Greetings one and all, this is Rhythmworks and welcome to my channel with some more Payday 2 Crimewave Edition PS4 gameplay action style. I'm actually playing the second day of the Hoxton Breakout heist mission in the game, and it's set to, I think it's very hard, but I like to kind of limit the amount of human players that I have on very hard. If it's on overkill, then obviously I like to use 3. You know, I think we can manage it. I mean, I can manage it with 2 players, but you know, just to have a good chance of succeeding the mission without having to restart it too many times, I like to feature all 4 players. Now, I was gonna make this video yesterday, but due to circumstances that has, you know, that has been a talking point all over the world, and I'm talking about the horrific murders of 9 churchgoers who had their prayer meeting and their Bible study in a church in Charleston. And the church itself is an iconic building in relation to the civil rights movement and the civil rights struggle. I think Martin Luther King had actually preached in that church as well, and it has been, I think it's been firebombed a couple of times and been burnt down, and it's been rebuilt and what have you. So the building within itself is very, very iconic. Now, it's gonna seem a bit surreal and somewhat hypocritical for those who have that view of me talking about this subject matter while I'm actually playing a computer game that depicts violence, i.e. gun violence and what have you. But my response is this straight away. I know the difference between playing a video game and actually killing somebody in real life, and sanity brings the distance between the two from my standpoint. And you know, the act of killing enemies in a video game obviously has been memorialized, if you like, for a long time. Even a game as innocent as Space Invaders, some might claim. It is not so much looking at blood and guts being spilled when you kill an enemy. It's the act of actually killing the enemy. It's the act of terminating the life or the life represented by polygons on a computer screen. You know, it's all one of the same at the end of the day. But my viewpoint in relation to the whole thing, you know, after looking at everything, and especially like watching the interview of 2 of the children of the victim, one of the victims today, and when they were asked as to how they felt, they both said, you know, we feel nothing but love. You know, we forgive the person that done this, you know. And to some people, they might think, my God, it's like, you know, they must be crazy or something like that. But such is the level of faith that they have in their faith. They are willing to forgive those that trespass against them as much as they ask for forgiveness for those they trespass. You know what I mean? You know, and that kind of settled my mind in realizing, you know what, you know, these are not people who are cultish in behavior, in exercising their forgiveness. You know, it's like, you know, one's faith has to be really, really boundless for them to feel that way, especially 24 hours after the event. You know, for some people, they'll be filled with anger and what have you. You know, I don't see it so much as a hate or race thing. You know, I just see it as something of indoctrination, if you like, where to some degree it's not just the boys doing, it's not just that boys doing that created the whole mess in the first place. You know, if you look at the whole situation, you will see that for the dude's 21st birthday, he got a gun. You know, I think a PS4 or a car would do, but he got a gun. You look at the picture of the dude, he had a pre apartheid South African map and African map, sorry, and a pre-apartheid South African flag, and also a Rhodesia flag before the nation became known as Zimbabwe, emblazoned on his jacket. And also another fact was that the boy was in that meeting for 45 minutes before the event happened. Now, some may say that it was totally premeditated in that regard, but my viewpoint is that I think personally that when that boy sat down to that Bible meeting, that Bible study, he heard things where made him stop what his intentions were for that time. And it wasn't until the fact of the churchgoers leaving that it kind of woke him up as to the purpose of him being there. That's what I think. I don't think it was, I mean, the intention was cold-blooded. I mean, there's no denying that. But, you know, I think for those 45 minutes, I really honestly thought that there was a chance for that boy to redeem himself. And he almost forgot his intentions at that time, you know? I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there, but that's what I think anyway. It could be that. But it is a sad event to think that, you know, 50 years of struggle, you know, with the civil rights movement being somewhat thrown down the toilet in that regard, you know, by that one act. And even when the FBI and all the investigators was trying to basically conduct their business in finding out who done what, where the suspect was, there was reports of bomb threats and things like that. And apparently the boy wanted to create a civil war, and I'm thinking, what the fuck? You know, the dude's fucking, he's 21 years old. 21 years old. You know, you had things like the trench coat mafia with Columbine and all those shootings. Then you add shootings where, you know, primary school children, kindergarten children, if you like, were being murdered. Now you've got people that's just minding their business in a church getting murdered. It's not unusual because, you know, those attacks happen a lot of the time in Africa, you know, between Muslims and Christians and things like that. I just find it ironic how we can kind of gloss over that, but yet still, when it happens in the Western world, if you like, you know, there's just utter condemnation, you know, and all murders are condemned as far as I'm concerned. You know, no shit, Sherlock, you know what I mean? It's just horrible. It's just horrible, you know, and as a result of all that what happened, I couldn't play. I just could not play any games because most of the games involved shooters, involved shooting, involved killing people represented by polygons on a screen. And I just wanted to make a video just to basically just give my 2 penneth worth in relation to that, you know. I'm being a realist. These things, these attacks are not the first and they won't be the last, you know, and they will be, you know, pardon the pun, executed by people of different faiths and different backgrounds and different viewpoints. It really, really is sad to see people exercise hate in that way. But, you know, in America, as Obama said, you know, those things don't really happen on a regular in other civilized countries, but at the same time, it does. And the reality is that it shouldn't be happening at all, but such is the level of hate that people have, where they want to basically try and ethnically cleanse a nation. You know, there is definitely mental issues to be looked into where that's concerned. And when you're looking at a 21-year-old person with that viewpoint and has no problem in killing 9 people in cold blood, I mean, one of them was in her 80s. One of the victims was in her 80s, man. You know, how could you basically just turn around and kill an 80-year-old woman? Yeah, fucked my head up, man, for the whole day. Tried to play games and I couldn't do it. Could not do it. But, you know, it won't be the first. It's not the first and it won't be the last event. It's not something that I really wanted to talk about to coincide with my gaming channel and my game footage and stuff like that, because obviously I do play shooters, but you know, I do know the difference. And like I said, sanity creates that difference, creates that space that creates that difference in my headspace. But there is something to be said about, you know, about the state of youth, the mindset of youth right about now. If they feel that that is the way to go, you know, in terms of bringing a solution to the freaking problem, you know what I mean? It's not a good place we as a society are in, if that's how people basically feel, you know. I really didn't want to get too political or anything like that with this freaking thing, but, you know, it affected my headspace to want to talk about it, because what I really wanted to talk about, I'm going to have to feature in another video, but it is a really sad chain of events, man. Really, really sad, you know. And every time this shit happens, I get turned off playing shooters. I just get turned off playing shooters. And it's the realization that it's event like that that causes developers to make games like this, you know. You know, we don't have to even be playing computer games to be entertained by it. We watch TV programs, we watch movies, you know, and things like that that depicts violence in the worst way, and we are entertained by it. So I wouldn't see video games as the sole cause for people being desensitized to violence, you know. I'm still disgusted by it, but I know Polygons has no I know Polygons doesn't have any forms of life within it, you know what I mean? And that's the difference that I basically set. But it's a sad state of affairs, man. It really, really is. You know, my thoughts and my condolences go out to the families and loved ones and friends of those whose lives were cut down in that way, man. It's fucked up. It's jacked up. It really is. It's fucking jacked up, man. So that is my 2 penneth worth on the awful event, man. And it's just my way of just, you know, getting things off my chest in relation to that. Will I stop playing shooters? I doubt it, you know. Does it make me heartless and cold? No, it doesn't. It just makes me more aware of what goes on in the world and realizing that life is short and we must enjoy ourselves the way we want to enjoy ourselves in gaming and other pursuits. So anyway, that is it. That is all for me for now. And the video that I intended to do, I will put up next time. But until such time, whatever you're doing, whatever you're playing on, whatever you play, happy gaming, because that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters. And until I catch you on the next one, till we hook up, link up, meet up, happy gaming, stay blessed. Magan.